Hi everybody, welcome to the April sampler. So we're going to do a block kind of like a flying geese, but it's different. And just to give you a heads up, in May is still going to be virtual. We are not going to meet in person, and we will let you know when we are going to meet in person. Okay, so what we're going to do is you're going to have a lot of squares. A lot of background squares, and you're going to mark a diagonal line on the back side of all your background squares. And so this is kind of a different way of doing a flying geese, but we're going to change the angles, if that makes sense. Okay, so I have my rectangle, and I'm going to put a square in the corner, and you're going to want to make sure that your diagonal line goes the proper direction. And so mine is going off this way. Okay, and for something different, first let me get it all lined up in the corner. So everything is lined up all the way around here, and I'm going to sew exactly on that marked line. So let me change that on the machine because I have everything set up for sewing a 1/4 inch, but I'm going to sew right on this marked line. And another thing is, before I sew it, I find that if I start at this end, sometimes my sewing machine will want to eat that end and pull it down into the feed dogs. But if I start at this end, it can't do it. There's too much fabric there, and it can't eat the feed dog. It can't eat the fabric. So I'm going to start here and sew down to this corner. Okay, and I'm going to sew right on that marked line. Okay, and now I am going to fold this over, so it's going to be just like that, and I'm going to press it. So I'm going to press it flat first, and then I'm going to press it to the side. Okay, so it looks like this. Now you might be asking, can't I cut away all this extra fabric first? Because that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to cut this away. And it's better to press it and then cut it away because it keeps it more straight. And if you cut it first and then press it, it wants to stretch it on the diagonal. So let me go ahead and cut this. So I'm just going to cut it about a 1/4 inch away from where I stitched. That is not a good blade. Okay, so this is what it looks like right now. And then I'm going to take another square and put it in the other corner. And if I was making a flying geese, I would have it look like this, but this is not what I'm doing. I'm having it parallel lines. So I'm going to sew it just like that. And again, I'm going to sew it right on that marked line. I'm not going to start in the corner. I'm going to start at this end. Okay. Okay, again, I'm going to press. Press it off to the side. Okay, I think this is called a trapezoid. I can't remember. So now that it's pressed, I can pull back that top fabric and trim off all this extra fabric. I don't want it because it's going to make it too bulky. All right, so this is what I have. And I'm going to do the same thing with my other fabric. I'm going to put a square in the corner of my rectangle. I want that same angle. And I'm going to start at this end. Make sure it's all lined up. Okay, press. Okay, this time I'm just going to trim when I'm done with the other one. Okay, so again, I want my lines parallel. Line it up in the corner. So on the mark line, okay, so it's all sewn, and now I need to trim away all that extra fabric. And the other side. So you want it to be around 1/4 inch that you're trimming it, but it does not have to be exact. I would have at least 1/4 inch though. So now I'm going to sew it like that. And I'm going to make 4, but let me sew these together. Put them right sides together. And I want to make sure I have my 1/4 inch seam allowance. Okay. Okay, so this is sewn, and now I'm going to press it. All right, so this is what I have, and you're going to make 4. Okay, so now I'm going to sew these 2 together, and then I'm going to sew those 2 together. And I think we talked about it last time that if there's ever a fabric that you don't like, you can always substitute something else of yours and use that instead. You don't have to use our fabrics. got scissors. Okay. So I am going to press this. And I'm going to press it towards that green one, because I think it'll lie flatter with the green. Pressing it towards the green. Do the same thing here. I'm going to press it towards the green. Okay. And now I'm going to sew this together, and I'm going to make sure I pin it at least right here, and then in other places as well. But I especially want the center to be on, to be spot on. So let me get some pins. And I have my seams going in opposite directions, so it's going to lay nice and flat. I'm going to press it. And then it doesn't matter which side I press it to, so I'm just going to press it to a side. All right, and that's the block. Thank you.